the APTA Grand Prix Tour presented by our national sponsors Viking and Uline and local sponsor Roto-Rooter. We are live at the Hyde Park Golf and Country Club on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Brad Easterbrook along with Hall of Famer Patty Hogan, bringing you the men's quarterfinal match between the number 4 seeds of Brian Compton and Scott Kahler against the team of soon-to-be Hall of Famer Mike Stulac and Scott Estes. Patty, why don't you read our bios here?
Okay. Honored to be calling this match and are privileged to see our newest member of the Hall of Fame going in March at the Pittsburgh Nationals, Mike Stulac from Summit, New Jersey. He's paired up today. His longtime buddy, Scott Estes, former national champ from Ottawa Hills, Ohio. They're up against Brian Compton from Chicago, Illinois, and Scott Kahler, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the chair of our nationals out in Pittsburgh.
All right, so the players on the court, on the closest to us in the gray vest is Scott Estes, left-handed player, and his partner Mike Stulac, soon to be Hall of Famer, in the blue jacket there. And on the far side, also in the blue jacket, is Scott Kahler with the beard, and his partner Brian Compton in the white pullover there. So Patty, it's a thrill to see Estes and Stulac here, and very fitting. They had a good win in the round of 16. So why don't we take a quick look at the draw and see how these players got here.
Yeah, they took out the team of Henson Schwab, the number 7 seeds. I think the score was 6-3, 6-1.
It was actually 6-1, 6-3.
6-1, 6-3, okay.
We gotta switch that around there.
We got it, and as you can see, the winner of this match has a potential matchup with the number 1 seeds, Houston Powers, defending national champs.
Yeah, and they'll be into the semifinals, the winner of this match. You know, they had a great match. I wasn't terribly surprised to see Estes and Stulac win against Henson Schwab. They're a team from Denver, and they don't know, I think it's their first seed at a Grand Prix tournament. So it's a good result for them, Estes and Stulac, and it'll be a great match against Compton and Kahler. How do you see this one, especially with the weather, Patty?
Well, you know, I think it's going to be tricky, and, you know, it'd be hard for me to go against those the Jerseyites, sort of Jerseyites, with Estes and Stulac. But I've got to believe.
Hard for you to go against them emotionally, or?
Yeah, kind of emotional. You know, I'm a little emotional about this team. So proud of Mike and his soon-to-be induction into the Platform Tennis Hall of Fame. You know, he's one of the great guys in the sport, and he's one of our finest competitors, former national champion. You know, he's playing with Scott Estes, who's a national champion. Despite all that, if I was a betting person, and I've been wrong all weekend, I might go with the team of Kahler, Compton as my pick, Brad.
Yeah. Now you can see the court here. It's been raining. We saw at the end of the last match, really effective thing. The ball was skidding, but they took a good 10-15 minutes with towels out there drying off the court to try to avoid that. It is still coming down rain, but it seems to be less, and hopefully the court will not get too wet, because that just changes the entire tenor of the match. So the strengths and weaknesses of Estes and Stulac, what do you think are their strengths and weaknesses, Patty?
Can age be a strength or a weakness?
It can be a little bit of both. Certainly not. They're probably not the faster team out there. Stulac still has some really good wheels.
I mean, there's a lot to be said for wisdom, experience,
absolutely.
all that. But you know, they're not as quick as these other guys on the other side. And I mean, it's going to be, I think, a tough matchup. I think the worse the conditions, it favors Estes and Stulac a little bit. As we always say, it kind of brings the players a little closer together, and maybe the person who's the favorite, you know, assuming they play a long grinding match, might be Kahler Compton. But anything can happen when the weather comes into it. And it was an icy mix the last time I walked outside.
Well, Estes has a great overhead. He can drive the ball off both sides, and, you know, forehand and backhand. He generally chooses almost all the right shots at all the time. Drives the right ball you're supposed to drive, and, you know, lobs the balls you're supposed to lob. He's also pretty good tactically. Stulac is one of the best at closing back into the net, and he gets right on top of you, and he basically drop volleys. He's got one of the best drop volleys in the game. Still does. He's a great blitzer. Strangely, his backhand is better off the deck during the point, but his forehand return is better off the serve, and he'll try to knock that ball from high to low down and blitz behind it from time. You know, in Kahler and Compton, you know, offensively from the backcourt, it's pretty close, actually. It's really just going to be a question of how well these teams play tactically. And, you know, Compton's got he can hit the ball off both sides, forehand and backhand. His backhand's probably better than his forehand. Kahler has gotten more offensive over time, and his high to low forehand is great. And like Stulac, he's a great offensive volleyer at the net. Probably even a better offensive volleyer at the net than anyone else out there. It's going to be an interesting matchup. We're looking forward to it. So we got our umpire in the chair, and you see they're calling it, spinning for the serve there. And our umpire is Hank Brightwell. He'll be getting on the mic here soon, introducing our players. See, the court is wet, but there are dry spots. They'll be changing balls every 7 games, which is good. See there, Stulac and Estes in a good conversation about what they want there. I don't think they're talking about their IRAs or anything. I think they have a good plan and understanding what they're going to want to do out there, playing to their strengths.
Guys are all set. Quarterfinal match, Midwesterns 2019. Number 4 seed Brian Compton from Chicago, Illinois, and Scott Kahler, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No Steeler jokes. From Ottawa Hills, Ohio, Scott Estes, and Michael Stulac from Summit, New Jersey. You guys know all the rules and the drills, so I'm only going to be helping out with disputed line calls. First foot fault will be a warning. Thanks so much for playing, you guys. So on behalf of all the sponsors and our charities, the Carlin Brightwell Endowment, Aspen Mountain Rescue, and also for our good friend Jason Gray. Have a great match.
All right, there was Hank Brightwell, and we have Scott Estes to start the match off. See if we can get you some scores from the other quarterfinal that's going on. We've got Backer and Frazier against Colmar and Morgan, and Backer Frazier are up 3-0 in the first set there.
Frazier's a little under the weather, kind of struggling out there, but they've gotten off to a great start.
Super talented. Wow, great slippery drive there from Kahler. See right off the bat that Kahler and Compton want to play with a nice, easy rhythm. Don't want to give them too many points, only taking the high drives or the right drives. That's so smart. And there's the Stulac drop volley. Great shot. The best in the game, best of all time drop volleyers.
It's a great angle of that lefty spin serve. Beautiful service motion. Scott Estes has worked hard over the years to perfect that, Brad.
Yeah, he doesn't
Wasn't always the case, right?
No, he's missed a few at times. It's been spotty. And he doesn't have a cut overhead slash, but he puts a little spin on it, keeps it long and deep, and then he'll mix in the hard overhead. He keeps you off balance. Doesn't have the finishing overhead, but makes it hard for you to attack him.
I was referring a little bit more, Brad. I'm not sure if you could hear me. There's a sold-out crowd here behind us at the Paddle Hut at Hyde Park Golf and Country Club in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was talking about Scott Estes over the years. Struggled a little bit with his serves at times. We've seen him serve underhand to get through some matches.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. He would go through these bouts where he would fault, and he has served under a few times. So perfect start here for Estes and Stulac, and you'll see them use Estes hitting a lot of the overheads, as many as possible. Stulac being camped up at the net, looking for that cutoff volley and the drop volley. And with the backstory of Kahler and Stulac having played a year together a few years ago. And strangely enough, they weren't that successful as a team, but we all know strengths and weaknesses make a difference.
Well, I think that was before Kahler started taking more rips on the ball. You know, we've seen a forehand drive, two-handed backhand rip from Kahler already. You know, we didn't see that in his game 2 years ago.
All right, so 1-0 Estes Stulac. You see Compton flying a couple of forehands out there. It is his weaker side. It's a little long, a little big, the stroke. And both those balls, good 4 or 5 feet long. All right, court looks definitely playing better so far. They're going to change balls every 7 games out here.
Love 15.
So Scott Kahler serving here. The hat with the pom-pom.
Mike Stulac over in the ad court corner, Brad.
Well, that's how they play when he plays with when he plays with Estes. The lefty likes his deuce corner. We do see lefties who play the ad corner as well, but Estes is pretty much a lifer over there in that deuce corner. I don't know that I've ever seen him in a tournament play the ad court.
I don't think I've ever seen it. You're right. We've seen Stulac over there a couple times in deuce court with Mark Parsons, Billy Anderson.
Yep. No, he's
Remember those
comfortable
guys
on both
winning
sides.
Pittsburgh Nationals?
I like Stulac more on the other side, but he's good on both sides.
Love 30.
Sort of a slow start here for Compton and Kahler. I have to get to that's 15, the Thunder. 30. He's got that. He hits that forehand. He can hit the backhand too, but the forehand he thumps it good. Estes couldn't quite get around on that. Need a little more footwork.
Brad, in my book, Scott Estes Jr. is one of the top, probably top 10 guys who ever played this sport. Huge talent, national champion. Like, what makes him so special as a player? I'm sure you've played against him over the years.
Oh, many, many matches. He just does. He has it all, and he does it all at the right time. It's not that I haven't seen other forehands or backhands that he has, but he has a thundering forehand. But he hits the shots at the right time. He thinks well,
40,
competes
30.
hard all the time, and he has a great overhead. And makes him a great player because he's always making the right decisions. He's always looking for a ball. Like, he missed that, but it's not a bad drive.
Right, and for Estes Stulac to win this match, he needs to take a rip on that ball. He needs to hit when they get the opportunities.
Yep. And they're giving Stulac a few backhands off the deck there. They're going to have to be careful with that.
Brad, we've had a clarification. Scott Estes has appeared in the ad court.
He has, really. I like that.
Compton,
His sister
Kahler.
Jill reports that he's played there a couple times in mixed nationals
out
of necessity.
All right, fair enough. So he's not the only Estes who likes to play the deuce court, but that makes some sense in mixed. So I guess we'll amend it to in probably men's tournament play, but in mixed he's been over there. All right, fault there. First ball from Stulac, love 15. Ball's moving and skidding a little, but not too bad. Still pretty playable.
15-30.
Wow, what a spot Scott Kahler found on Mike Stulac's right side there.
Yeah, he got it up high and in on him. Great shot, 15-30. Compton backhand, solid. So those are those ridiculous hands up there. It's a little wizardry over there from Stulac. Still got great hands.
And have you ever seen anyone play as close to the net as Mike Stulac does? Like, more than anyone in the game, he really is on top of the net. And when he knows that offensive shot is coming,
oh no,
he just gets on top and has such quick hands.
Right on. I think always one of the keys when you play Stulac is to consistently lob him back off the net, and then be wary of how quickly he gets back on. His overhead really, there's nothing threatening there on the overhead side. Where he threatens you is his ability to come in and make those drop volleys, and his ability to volley, and his ability to blitz. But if you lob him and you keep him off the net, that's always a good strategy.
Game.
So a couple of faults.
Compton Kahler lead 2-1.
And a couple of missed volleys from Stulac
fans,
there.
Please try and refrain from walking behind the players.
So this is just one of the
point.
quarterfinal matches underway. Just got an update from Shannon Vincent and Mark Fischel that. What'd they tell you? Do you even know what they told you, Brad?
I did. You know, that Backer and Frazier up 4-1 in the first set over there against Colmar and Morgan.
The local
Colmar and Morgan. Fun team to watch.
Backer and Frazier. And I think this would be an appropriate time, Brad, just to give a nod to the sadness around the community here in Cincinnati over the sudden passing of Jason Gray a couple of days ago. Jason was a force in this sport. He was an inclusive guy, charismatic, enthusiastic, passionate, creative. He was an innovator. He's going to be sadly missed by the entire paddle world.
Yeah, pro here, well beloved by everyone, and everyone who knew anything about him. He was one of the great organizers, one of the passionate, movers and shakers in the paddle world. All right, so Compton to serve.
Love.
Now Stulac will do that from time to time, and you'll get that, the error, and you probably say it's a bad error, you should have bailed out, he shouldn't have made the move, but then all of a sudden he'll get 1 or 2 or 3 at these crucial times where he makes a ridiculously good shot.
Mike's got that unique high forehand return to serve, Brad. How do you describe that shot?
It's like crouching tiger, hidden dragon. He just jumps up on top of the ball and he gets it from up high. He starts down low and he takes the ball at the top of his bounce and he hits it downward. He can't do it really in the middle of point, can only do it on a high ball. If you dump it to Stulac's forehand, he really doesn't have a shot he can drive at you, say a la, Marek Chervinsky or Mark Powers or somebody like that, but the return of serve, he actually can get in a rhythm with and actually hurt you with it, and he follows it up with a blitz. But right now, a few errors coming out of the Stulac corner on the return and on the volley. So it's a 3-1 lead, Compton Kahler.
Brad, when you have the snow, icy conditions, is it an advantage to be the net team? Advantage to be the baseline team?
If it's true rain and the court is really wet, it's definitely an advantage to be at the net. I think this seems to be playing okay right now. The backcourt team's getting strikes. The ball's not skidding. That's a big serve.
I love the serve and the stroll to the net from Scott Estes Jr.
Well, I think he was doing that on purpose there, Patty, meaning he was going for a hard serve at the crease, which is what he went for. And if the ball popped out, he was going to not worry about volley, to let the guy drive it back. And if the ball didn't,
30-15.
might end up with an ace. Smart play.
Brad, as only a brother can call it, Paul Stulac just chimed in. He described his brother's return to serve forehand as ugly.
Yeah, you could say that, and I wouldn't disagree, but I would say ugly but effective. Ugly but effective.
So I mean, we're early in this quarterfinal matchup, but I think Estes and Stulac, it's real critical for them to keep this match, this first set really close.
Compton, Kahler lead the first set.
I mean, right now it's just been a few errors, you know, here and there. I don't see anything wrong with what they're trying to do or how they're playing out there. So it's 4-2 now with Bacher Fraser up against Colmar and Morgan. And that's another local team, as you were saying, Bacher and Fraser. Bacher used to be in the pro in the area. I think he went to school at Xavier also, right nearby. And Tyler Fraser, up-and-coming player and a pro in the area
Tyler
also.
Fraser, he's real enjoyable to watch when he feels well. I think he's feeling pretty well. Much better than he was at lunchtime.
I think generally speaking, even when he's sick, he feels better than me. Oh, great lob there. So there's that low little cutter and mixing the soft overhead. Oh, great chop.
15 love. Love.
I think Stulac and Estes are working hard to put together a string of points.
30-15.
Yep.
Like I said, this is a key time in this match. That was a great rip from Scott Estes Jr. I like the rip from Stulac, but the second time he's missed a two-handed backhand in the net, and I just think you got to put the return of service in play.
Absolutely.
Easy from the booth, harder on the court.
No question, but absolutely. We've seen basically, I think, 4 or 5 missed returns right now out of Stulac.
(40-30). Deuce.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, there's nothing that Stulac and Estes are doing specifically wrong. They just got to play better. You know, they got to execute. He's definitely struggling off the deck right now, Stulac.
Compton, Kahler.
All right, so that's, wow, great pickup there. Stulac looking for the blitz, but great volleying there from Kahler.
Game, Compton, Kahler. They lead the first set. They lead the first set 4-2.
All right, close to it. Good points here. Gotta find your rhythm. There definitely is a heavier ball. Gonna switch it after this game. Just long.
I'm sorry I missed that, guys. What happened? Thank you, sir.
Brad, you notice how Scott Estes holds his paddle when he's up at the net? He does a unique setup. Can you tell everyone what it is that he does?
Well, so if you watch him here, well, right now he's in Australian position, it's a little different. We'll get to it in a sec. The next time he's returning. That's a
smooth move by Kahler over there.
Look at him. See, that's the Stulac. He's staying in when all wisdom would tell you to move back. And he's going to stay in there anyway. He will make some of those, but he's lost the first 2. And everywhere we've seen right now, it's been more on the missing end than the other. So you see him staying.
Do you see how he holds that paddle up with his second hand?
Yep.
And he flips it from side to side.
A little flipper volley there, and he uses the same side of the paddle actually to volley the ball, which is a unique style. So it's tough. If I were Stulac,
Compton,
a couple
Kahler,
of tough service games. He's been broken both times on his service game. They're teeing up on the return, and I would slow the serve down and either get in more or mix something up. Now, Stulac's not of the school of serving and staying back. You know, he's definitely a player from the older generation. You know, he serves and comes in. He trusts in his volleys. He's a volleyer. That's what he thinks is the strength of his game. But right now, they've been crushing returns, and both service games broken pretty handily.
You know, that's a great point, Brad, because you'd think if you're getting crushed on it, you got to figure out a way to get into the points, and we do see a ton of players stay back now. And Mike's inclination is just not that.
Nope, not at all. And he also faulted it like a few times in those couple of games too, which of course does not help matters. So, good 5-2 lead here for Compton Kahler. And this match does end early. We'll take a look and see if we can get a little bit of the Colmar and Morgan against Frazier and Bacher match. Should be highly entertaining. That's good. You can see maybe the weather's starting to get a little wetter out there.
15-0.
Right now, unforced errors. Estes Stulac versus Compton Kahler. What's the number?
Oh, I don't know. If I took a cheat at your list there, I would say it's probably 7 for Estes Stulac. And I'm going to put most of those in the Stulac corner, unfortunately. And
15-30.
3 or 4 for 7 or 8 for Estes Stulac, 3 or 4 for the other Kahler and Compton. What do you got, Patty? You got a list for me?
You know, I actually don't. I just figure you know every answer to every question I ever ask you, Brad.
Well, that's incredible confidence you have in me. Well misplaced.
The utmost of confidence in your abilities. My point is only that, I mean, we need a little bit of luck on the side here for Estes and Stulac.
Kahler lead the first set, 5-3.
Well, that was a great returning game. They finally stuck a few.
Yep.
And
they just have to figure out how to get Scott Estes some more looks on his forehand, because that's kind of the weapon that they have from the baseline. No offense to Mike Stulac's forehand or backhand, but I think he's made a few too many errors on his two-handed backhand out of that ad court corner. And I just think they got to get Scott Estes' forehand into the action a little bit more. Absolutely, I agree. But Kahler and Compton are not, they're not giving that. That's the last shot they're going to hit to Estes Stulac. They're going to go anywhere but Scott's forehand. That's great. Good topspin drive there from Compton. Rolled it. So it's 5-3 now for Bacher and Frazier over Colmar and Morgan. Oh, it's a rare overhead miss, just a loose shot from Estes. He rarely misses that ball. First point, up 15. He's got one of the better just overheads that's in and hard to attack. Doesn't have a specifically great attacking overhead, but very tough to attack his overhead. Brad, I've not seen Brian Compton play that much. I'm really impressed with his game. No, he's an up-and-comer, Pat. He's very good. He hits the ball on both wings, backhand's more solid play. He's very good. Brad, what's with the sign language you just saw from Mike Stulac there?
30-15.
Well, I actually didn't see it, Patty.
15,
okay.
So you're going to tell me.
Well, at some point I'd like you to talk about when the player at the net will signal what he's going to do, what he's thinking on. When Scott's serving there, Mike sort of indicated something. Is he telling Scott where to serve the ball, or is he telling him that he's not moving at the net?
It could be either of those things. Often teams will have two signals, one for where to place a serve and one for where they're moving. But primarily, if you see a signal, that's exactly what it is. It's telling him whether he's poaching and where he wants him to serve. Oh my goodness, and that is a loose game
to
finish out that first set there from Estes. All right, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
Hey, mister, are you a roto-rooter plumber?
Guilty.
Did you fix what flooded my house?
Sure did.
Toilet overflow?
Nope.
Pipe break?
Getting warmer.
Busted water heater?
Nailed it.
How long can you hold your breath? Is that your real hair? What's the birds and the bees? Do you know where my grandma is?
You know, I don't know.
What's next?
Wrapping up the water cleanup.
You do that too?
We do both.
Fair enough.
Call Roto-Rooter for plumbing and water cleanup. Yeah, we do both.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We're in the men's quarterfinal match between the number 4 seeds of Scott Kahler and Brian Compton against Mike Stulac. And Scott Estes and Compton and Kahler won the first set there, 6-3. And wasn't a horrible set. It was just way too many errors out of the Stulac corner, and they got to figure out how they're going to get him to hold serve. He got broken both times here, Patty, in his service games. And then right there at the end, Estes threw in a loose game. So what I think we're going to see
just
this.
When you said you don't see Estes in men's play in the ad court, here he is playing the whole point without them trying to switch.
Yep. I like it. It gives a different look out there. Now you got to worry about the Estes forehand. Trying to hit it into the deuce court. And the Stulac backhand in the middle. I think what we're going to find from Stulac is he's going to dry up those errors. He's going to get more conservative in this set and try to grind a little until he finds his range on the drive. This is the first point. We came back to it in action here. They're going to need to find some offense against Compton and Kahler. That's a loose ball, 15 love. Because right now they're just making too many errors.
15 all.
Yeah, it's nice that the precipitation stops. So the play can be much better. Ooh, 2 faults in a row, that helps.
So Brad, how do you get off the error train when you're on it? And you know you're on the error train.
I think you just have to get more conservative, allow yourself. I don't think you can hit your way through it because sometimes the match is over by the time you try. So you got to get conservative, and what you got to do is hit the exact right ball, right? And if you can't hit the exact right ball and make it, you're going to have a rough day anyway. But, you know, the only other option is to decide to yourself, okay, I'm going to lob every ball, if you're Stulac, down the line so that more of the overheads go over towards Estes anyway. And if he lobs down the line and looks for a specific type of shot, it decreases the answers of the, you know, the volatility of the shot you're looking for. And that could help a ton. Because right now they're getting 0 Stulac blitzes and they're getting very little looks on offense. They're just, you know, at this point, just long. And 2 missed lob errors. You don't want to really make more than 2 or 3 in a match sometimes in this game.
Dude.
But the beauty is 3 faults from Kahler. That does a nice job equalizing it up.
It's a generous serving game from Scott Kahler right now.
Oh, that's a great offensive volley from Kahler. He gives a little fist bump. Advantage Kahler. And then we just got a report. Frazier and Bacher won the first set, 6-4 against Colmar and Morgan. Holy moly. How about that?
Hey, 4 faults, Brad, you still in the game.
If you lose a game with 4 faults, that means you're winning on almost every other level except you can't get the serve in the box, right? Which will kind of emphasize the point that it's been a struggle so far. Nice little push drive there from Stulac. Again, as Mike Stulac's brother Paul said, not the prettiest thing, but it was effective. That's a silly drive there, I think, from Compton. That's when you're too comfortable. See, Compton giving the fist signal. Don't know, he's staying. You know, and the signals usually are fist, open hand, or a finger pointing in a direction. How about that? He'll take it. Oh, he's a little late on that drive. I'm not sure that shouldn't be better off the screen. I'm not. It's a hard serve.
You know, for Scott Estes to go airborne on the shot, Brad, that's something else.
Good return that time from Stulac. Nice angle there, seeing those screenshots of Kahler. That's a ball that you might see at certain levels. Somebody hit a cut drop or some of the things. It's like I said, Estes won't do that. He'll keep hitting the shots he knows. He's going to push that ball long and deep. It was a great overhead. He elicited the error anyway. Oh, let cord. That's good. All right, little mojo here.
Good string of points, Brad. We talk about momentum swings all the time. All of a sudden, there's some real positives from Estes and Stulac right now.
Well, it's nothing like a few faults from your opponent, and you got to let cord.
Really helps your confidence.
Oh, yeah, Stulac jumping up, gave him the spike, but Stulac couldn't get his feet underneath him well enough because it was a decent enough combination from Kahler with the long low one into the screen, followed by Compton's attacking spike. Wow, such amazing hands, but well played there by Kahler. Dipped right at his feet with Stulac blitzed. He keeps the ball low and wins the exchange. Very nice.
How many times over the year, Brad, have we seen, you know, the combination of shots from Mike Stulac where he always comes out on the winning end of those points? Here, but he's up against 2 long, lanky guys who can reach a ton of shots here, and you know those exchanges haven't worked well for Mike when he gets caught up, you know, closer to the net.
Stulac trying to get some momentum. He gave it a fist pump after the loose error there from Kahler. They just can't get anything, their teeth in it. Kahler's given them maybe like 7 errors this game, including the faults, but it's still game point here for Kahler. Can't quite get their offense working.
Scott Estes couldn't get a juicier ball for a return to serve right there from Kahler, and he just couldn't execute.
He's catching them all a little late behind him with sort of that Nadal finish. You know, because he's a little late. Now that can work, but I feel like he's looking to catch it earlier, but he's just not, and then he's netting the ball.
Game, Compton Kahler lead the second.
Missing
set,
too many balls. I mean, you can't ask for more errors from Compton and Kahler. You're not going to get more.
You're not going to get more errors. So
I mean, that's it.
That's the problem. And you know, Mike, we've seen him hit a million two-handed backhands, just not a high percentage so far.
All right, well, we have some great sponsors out here at the Midwesterns, and Uline is one of them.
Bet. Good.
Uline is the leading distributor of
pipeline
shipping,
whiskey
industrial,
would
and
be fine.
packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they're here when you need them, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Uline, the best selection, products, and people for an unforgettable customer experience. We have Scott Estes serving here, down love 1 in the second set. That's good. He's letting the overhead drop. They're trying to keep the ball low. There's a classic volley combination from Stulac. And that's where he's going to get you. See, Kahler's back trying to hit that spike, but Stulac's right there. He's going to drop volley that one anyway.
And the depth of Stulac's other volley prior to that.
It was beautiful.
You know, there's a lot of players we love watching. I love watching Estes and Stulac play because of their volley skills. You know, it's really fun to see what they have come up with over the years.
Oh, that's a smart lob volley there from Compton. Beautifully done. Wow. Yeah, just a little quicker Compton and Kahler. There you see Estes scamper up, but he can't scamper back in time. He gets caught in transition, and they body him, and he misses.
Stulac just made a beautiful
15
two-handed
all.
backhand. It's kind of the first two-handed backhand rip he's made in a couple of games, Brad.
By 30.
I'm not sure what that was. It wasn't a serve and volley, and it was a serve and halfway come in. He's sort of watching 15-30. Oh, beautiful lob. There's the huge forehand there from Estes. And I love it how you see Stulac react with a fist bump. He's giving him the hand close. That usually means he's staying, not going anywhere. Stulac does like to poach, cut off volleys. I think you guess as to where he's going to be at the net. Such a smart lob. Compton is trying to find him, push him back.
Wow.
Way too hard.
30,
He
40.
teed that one up. These things, all subtle little things. They're going to have to make some changes and execute better. What a serve there, though, from Estes.
Good.
A couple of those right into the crease. Good spin.
That's kind of vintage Estes Jr. right there. It's the combination of, you know, shots. He's really had brilliant shot selection over his career, and that's what's made him such a tough player.
Oh, absolutely.
His instincts for the game, anticipation, what's going to happen next. And being that he's got such a strict fitness regime, you know, those things come in handy, Brad.
Well, he's not a pro. He's investment banking business and a real smart guy.
Right, he doesn't have the opportunity to get out there and hit balls all the time.
He also comes from a family, you know, he's played father-son events, you know, with his dad his whole life. Tons of competitive events. What a shot by Kahler and a great dig there.
He showed some blazing speed over there. There was a flash of red across our screen, Brad.
Good get.
You know, you see some of the teams at the top of the men's game here, Brad, and they've got some offensive overheads, and I just don't see that Estes and Stulac have an overhead that's really impacting Kahler and Compton here.
Oh, not at all. You're 100% right. And as a consequence, you know, when they're up there, you know, as long as Kahler and Compton hit the right drive and not at Stulac when he's standing up at the net, there's no way for them to actually end the point against Kahler and Compton. They can't win. You know, they could stay out there, but they can't win the point. And eventually Kahler and Compton are going to get a drive. And it's what's happening right now. It's funny, the first point of the match, we saw a Stulac drop shot for a winner. And that was literally the first point of the match, and we haven't seen one since.
I think, you know, all the credit to Compton and Kahler. We know Kahler is a thoughtful player, real, you know, disciplined as much as any guy, you know, in the top part of the game now. One of the guys who's super disciplined, and clearly he's lent that line of thinking here. And Brian Compton's, you know, thinks along the same way. So as a team, I mean, they make very few unforced errors. You know, not much flash, but they've got it when they need it. When they have the offensive opportunity, they pull the trigger.
Compton. Dude, he set him off the net. You can totally drive it at Stulac if you're off the net, and he was a little there. I have no problem with that drive. Just missed it. Let's step in, take a good attack angle. Here's where the issue arises too. There's on both sides and both ends, it's hard for them to gain the attack.
Head out.
You know, when they're at the net, they're not pressuring him. When they're in the backcourt, they're not finding the offense, but it's close. It's still in the balance. They just have to find that little ingredient.
Well, Estes, former national champion with Mike Cochran, Mikey C. in 2007. Stulac won in 2005 with Bill Anderson, in 2011 with Mark Parsons.
Yep.
I believe it's 2019. That's the problem now, right?
Well,
their knees feel like our knees?
Well, hopefully not that bad. But, you know, yeah, for sure the years make a difference. You know, the bones of the game has stayed the same, but definitely the reliance on the versatility of players now is much greater. There's much more ability to attack from both wings, cut, finish, all those things. And so we got another score now. It's 4-0 for Colmar and Morgan in the second set against Bacher and Frazier. So a great start to that after losing the first set 6-4. So maybe we'll see that one go 3 sets, and we'll bring you in for some bonus coverage there at that quarterfinal. There's a Stulac drop shot.
Advantage, Estes.
Oh, hammered. Cannot give him that ball. That high forehand.
Estes Stulac played in the Philadelphia Open this fall. They had a 13th finish there, 13th place. I don't know if you got to see them there.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. They had a heck of a match, and I think they lost in 3, but some good points.
Game, Estes Stulac tied 1-all in the second set.
How hard did Scott Estes work to hold serve right there? That was gigantic.
A big hole, but they gotta, like you say, stay close, because I don't think they can afford to get behind, because I don't know how they're gonna find enough points if they're too far behind. You know what I mean? Like, how are they gonna catch up They got to stay close.
15 love.
And it is close. I mean, the last 2 games, both of them went deuce-ad 12 times each. There's the Stulac. There it is.
There it is.
15 off.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Oh, nice.
15-30.
I like the off-speed return of serve right there from Estes.
It was a great shot.
You know, he's missed a couple off of Kahler's serve in the last return game.
30 off.
So kudos to him to kind of just chill a little bit, take something off.
See Stulac in the camera there admonishing himself. He could have let that ball go off the side wire. Just played up conservative lob. He went for the drive at the wrong time. Ball's against the screen.
And again, you just see how Estes just kind of laid off that return. Just hit a dipping ball low, get into the point.
Oh, and that's what you're hoping for. Get a couple loose errors back.
Estes, Stulac.
All right, break point here. They had a couple in the last game. That's Stulac getting his range on that return. Oh, such a good volley.
See how low he got for that volley, Brad?
That was great. No way, what a shot. Right in the corner, Kahler's volley went. Oh, yeah, Compton jumping in front there. Guest appearance, they'll take those couple of loose points and get a break. Way to go for Estes Stulac, 2-1.
Game Estes Stulac. They lead.
Brad, I know you're a good rallier of, you know, lots of paddle players for events. I hear we're hoping to get some teams from Connecticut or Long Island, go out and play in the league championships in April out in Chicago. They've had over 600 players who've played in the league championships, and this year, new format, you can just get a group of your friends. You and I can't play though, Brad.
It's
you
a
have to play with some guys.
terrific
I gotta
event.
play with some gals, but great effort, good offering from the APTA to include team championships for all lower levels of play, all different players. And it's not all about the big guys out here, Brad.
That's great. We'll continue to talk about that further through the broadcast, because you're right. It's one of the terrific events and a terrific opportunity for players who don't want to come out and play Grand Prix tournaments to play against players at their own level and get great competitive match and some fun camaraderie. All right, Stulac has struggled holding serve yet. And there's a fault again. A bunch of faults. See if he can hold here, it'll be huge. He got broken both times in the first set.
And it's funny to me because he's such a good volleyer. I always think the better the volleyer, get the serve in play, and he can handle anything.
Yeah, they thumped him pretty good though in the first couple.
Yep.
You know, but he is a great volleyer, no question.
And he has the belief that he'll figure it out as the match goes on. Like we said earlier, he's never going to stay back.
No question.
We shouldn't say never, because it could happen.
Just like Estes playing the ad court. Oh, a little fake Compton. He looked like he was going to drive and then held it, pushed up a lob.
You know, I talked about the lack of offensive overheads from Estes Stulac. You kind of see it here. I feel like they're just going to hit shots, and Kahler and Compton are going to just lob another ball. It doesn't faze them.
Nope.
They want to play long points every point. They could care less.
Yeah, but so do Estes Stulac in a way. They want to bait you into driving the wrong ball. So if you stay away from that, you're right, there's nothing to fear. We've seen about 15 overheads, just sort of long and deep. And then once in a while they'll mix one in there and go towards the nick, but they don't even hit it hard to the nick or anything. They're not playing that overhead that speeds it up. They're just dumping it and hoping you make the wrong choice, and then they're going to volley. And here's where you get into the problem, because the young guys dink it there, and not always that easy to close back in. You volley it up, and then you see Kahler come in with a great forehand. That's something that's gotten better. He's added more topspin to it. His mid-court forehand from a little lower. His high to low forehand's always been great. But that was a great roller there. Rolling forehand from Kahler. There's the flippy hands.
There's the two-handed forehand. Oh, rough retreat for that lob there. I think he might have been better off letting that ball bounce, Brad.
Yeah, he was just so off balance. I don't think he could have held off.
He couldn't resist.
All right, love 40. Oh, terrific move from Compton. But that is a tricky shot. You see that shot missed more often than most. You're coming in, you're not quite set in balance. You have a high ball, but you still miss the volley. Pressure to make it, 15-40.
Fred, for those people watching at home, you watch Scott Kahler in particular here out of that deuce court, and his ability to spot his drives. When he's a short ball, what's he thinking about? What's his target area for the net team?
Oh, well, for Kahler, yeah, what he's looking to try and do.
When he gets a short ball, he seems to be spot on in converting points here.
Yeah, for Kahler, he's going to hit it low through the middle off their hip, and then he's going to blitz behind it. And he's going to either try to finish it with that first shot off the hip, get him missing, but then he's going to follow it up in case you pop it up a little with the volley behind. So it's always important for a player when you're trying to attack the net team to sort of almost draw a box on your opponent, you know, and you got one right hip, left hip. You can spin it up and a little higher to certain spots, and that's what you're going to try and do.
See again, it's that handcuff volley that Stulac has to try to come up with, flipping his paddle from his backhand over to his forehand.
Yeah, but again, you know, they had some close balls at the nick there, but still not a ton of threat to Compton and Kahler in the backcourt, and that's the, I don't think Stulac's held yet.
We're at 2-all, quarters,
2-all.
Midwesterns, third leg of the APTA's Grand Prix Series. Where are you headed to next, Brad? Boston?
Boston is next on our Grand Prix Series in a couple of weeks.
And then Short Hills.
Should be a great tournament, both of them, as the season gets closer and closer to nationals.
It's going to be a loaded draw here for both of those events.
Yes, I think so, for sure. See, even there, that ball could have been tacked a little bit. Wow, big backhand from Kahler.
I mean, how calm is Kahler's play here out of that deuce court, Brad?
I think it's calm, though, because there hasn't been a lot of threat. And that's a little bit what we're talking about. There hasn't been that threat from Stulac and try there from Estes yet. That was a heck of a shot, though. So look at that. That is a... He hit that with ease, and it wasn't that easy.
It is a spirited crowd behind us here at Hyde Park Golf and Country Club in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, so smart.
Brad, this membership's so supportive. You flew in this morning. I was here all day yesterday. They're all out here loving the action, love the opportunity for their club to host a Grand Prix event and to see highest level paddle players in the country compete.
Absolutely.
Besides the supportive crowd, it's fun to see, we got our reporter Timo Araya, two-time Viking Junior Tour winner this year with Maddox Parsons. He's out there playing with Eric Fay in between matches, waiting for his dad's match to get underway. One of the quarterfinals we'll see later on the live stream possibly.
Compton, Kahler, they lead the second set, 3-2. Won the first set, 6-3.
brief snippet there, a break there from Stulac and Estes, but then a nice break and hold from Compton and Kahler. And, you know, it's a new ball now. Should hopefully get rid of it. It's nice
scoring error
when they get that new ball flocking on it.
I have one more
who the winner of this match comes up against?
So let's see if we can get the draw up from our producer there, and we can show you there on the screen.
Good time to look at the draw, see what's underway here.
Yep, so the
that's
Hughes
right.
Powers match, which they're going to go up against Crick and Loughran. So that'll be one of our, you know, other quarterfinal matches that's going on. And so that's going to be a good one. I got to call Hughes and Powers against Crick and Loughran there. And then, so the winner faces there. So that should be an interesting one. And we see the seeds pretty much have gone through. The only upset that we see is Estes and Stulac against Hinz and Schwab. All the other seeds are in play.
Not really an upset, just kind of function of the points accumulated. And
yep.
String one up.
You're right.
All right, here's Mike Stulac getting in a little extra practice in between games for those of you at home. I mean, if you're struggling, you have an opportunity. Your partner, I think Scott Estes went inside maybe to get a new ball. And Mike's out there trying to stay loose, hit some serves.
Well, you know, as we said, he hasn't held serve yet, so, and he definitely has faulted a few times. On top of that, with their strong returns, it's been tough for him to hold so far. You have to figure that out. But right now they're on serve in this second set, so they're not down. It's been close. They just have yet to find out a way to hurt Compton and Kahler. All right, for Sir Fault there.
I think Scott had to find his lucky shirt. I don't know, what are William and Mary's colors from his college days, Brad?
I'm not sure. Green might be part of it, actually.
Let's pretend it's green.
All right. All right, missed lob there. You see actually Compton going a lot to almost like a holding it and hitting fake topspin lobs up there. All right, 2 misses. All right, 30-15.
Got a shout out from Short Hills Tournament Director Dave Broderick. His their club loves hosting in there.
Oh, wow. You know, it's just a great shot. But
that was a knockdown forehand.
That was a knockdown. I've seen Stulac get knocked down before, but he just flew that thing off his hip. Kahler feeling very loose and strong out there. That was a great shot.
Short Hills is honored to have been picked to be a Grand Prix, Brad, and they're offering $20,000 total prize money. They've got a unique format.
Yeah,
APT is going to try out, where top 16 teams who sign up by rankings get to compete in the championship flight. Everyone else goes into the next flight. Lots of prize money on the line for the men and the women.
All right, break point here for Compton. Oh, beautiful ball, and that is a break.
Game Compton Kahler.
4-2. You see Estes banging the ball in disgust. No real answer, but you see Estes, he's not serving and volleying per se. He's serving and taking a couple of steps in and deciding if he can handle the return. He's had better success holding, but wasn't able to hold that time. It's a rip and just long from Compton.
How good a competitor is Scott Estes Jr. when he was in the prime of his game?
Oh, he's still the same competitor as he was, just a little different now. 15-all.
15-all.
But Scott and Mike, you know, to their credit, they're two of the great guys in our sport. Long time, high-level players at the top of the game, and I mean, kudos to them. Here they are in the, you know, Midwestern quarterfinals out here. Got a little bit of a age disadvantage, or maybe it's an advantage. I don't know.
Well,
but
there's the advantage of it yet, Patty.
Yeah. You know, smarts can only get you so far.
All right. It's a great shot.
40-30.
40-30 here for Compton and Kahler. Oh. See, they're trying to keep themselves positive, Estes and Stulac. Oh, good lob. That's the one you want. Lob Stulac off the net. Keep him off the net. That's it. That was a good ball. Oh, goodness.
Wow, Stulac was so close, and Kahler even found a spot so close to the net.
I wouldn't
really
say it was even
little
intentional.
shot.
It was just low, and Stulac caught a little off. And there's the miss and a good hold from Compton Kahler.
They lead the second set 5-2.
So we're at 5-2 here. Big hole for Estes and Stulac.
Well, what happens if they don't hold?
Big hole.
Oh, big hole.
So H-O-L-E versus H-O-L-D, Brad.
All right, that's it.
I haven't heard anything you said for 15 minutes because of this cocktail party going on behind me.
But yeah, it is a lively party for sure.
I'm just pretending. I'm trying to read your lips from the side, Brad, as you eat potato chips.
I'm just holding on to it. All right, here we go. 2-5 down. Mike Stulac to serve. Has not held yet. Needs to hold to stay in the match.
Cool. Love 15.
Will you have Mary colors, Brad? Green and yellow. I've gotten clarification.
Oh, love 30. They're just rushing the serve. Oh, monster drive from Compton, and it's triple match point here. So after this, we'll see if we can get you back with some bonus coverage of the, Morgan-Colmar match against Backer and Frazier if it ends right away here. Drop volley. 1-0 Backer and Frazier in the third set there. Whoa!
Hey, I can do that.
That hit the back screen in the
That's
air,
the only
Patty.
shot I can do that he can do.
That was a surprising miss there from Compton. It was a good look.
All right, a couple of match points to him.
Yep, and that'll do it right there.
Game,
No
set,
answers from Estes and
Compton,
Stulac.
Kahler, 6-3.
As one of the crowd favorites go down to the 4 seeds, Compton and Kahler.
Well played, gentlemen.
And
Thank
we'll
you
be
very
back
much.
just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
I'm pulling my way.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Give a little bit.
At Amazon, we've got millions of toys and games to choose from this holiday for kids of all ages, with free shipping on over 100 million items. So visit Amazon and give a little love this holiday.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series, where we're bringing you some bonus coverage of the quarterfinal match between the number 3 seeds of Rob Backer and Tyler Frazier against the 5 seeds of Will Colmar and Adam Morgan. And we're at 1-0 in the third set here, and Mark Fischel's now joining me in the booth. So welcome back, Mark. You've been watching some of this match. Why don't you introduce us to our players out there?
Thanks, Brad. Closest to the screen and the deuce court playing this ball here is Rob Bacher. Rob's a two-time national semifinalist, longtime pro in the area, and his partner Tyler Frazier in the white and blue cap, sort of the top young players in the country. And they're playing against Will Colmar in the blue shirt in the ad court and Adam Morgan in the black shirt in the deuce court. Been a fun match, a lot of good play. Colmar in particular, very talented, supple hands, some spectacular gets.
He is a fun player to watch, and he's got a lot of different spins, different serves that he uses. He's got some offense, he's got cut overheads. Choices aren't always perfect, but very good player.
Bacher and Frazier won the first game of the third set. I'm not sure they're still in the second game. I may have missed it when I was coming in.
All right, so see if we can get a score on that. It's a good look there from Colmar. So Colmar on the far side in the blue, and his partner Adam Morgan. Adam Morgan can hit it off both sides, but he's pretty much more predictable with the things he does. Colmar completely unpredictable, or more so. Put a little dink and blitz, a heavy roll to the ball, hit it harder and flat.
Made a couple of the best gets I've ever seen in the first set and a half.
Yeah? Wow.
Just very supple hands, very loose.
I noticed the use of the word supple. I'm on board with that.
I think you're pretty supple too, Brad.
Just in the
midsection. Just in different spots. I think this is game point 40-30.
All right, we'll start being able to call this score a little once we get a final notice on it. Great drive through the middle there from Morgan. Can hit the ball well off both sides. Oh, tricky little backhand there from Rob Bacher.
With a lot of creative play. Oh, great backhand, great dig.
Oh, wow, Bacher. They're running him. Good deep overheads. You see the court from the perfect angle here that it's mostly dry. Ball should act the way it should almost all the time. It's actually perfect out now for playing. So there you go, Colmar going over the ball, coming under it.
Oh, what a volley.
Yep.
He's fun to watch, Brad.
A lot of fun. I had the pleasure of watching a whole bunch of his matches there in Chicago. You will see that from time to time against him. They had a good match. They had a match against Bosterman Lofgren. And the issue that happened in that match there is they were up, you know, a good 4-1, maybe it was 5-2 first set. When Bostrom decided to start blocking balls off the deck, didn't allow them to spin it as much, and they lost their way. They ended up losing the match in straight sets like 7-5, 6-love.
Now Morgan has been serving underhand the whole match. Colmar's been serving underhand to the deuce court. There have been a lot of balls the net player has taken off his chest.
Yeah,
clearly
that's
a strategy.
But to take the ball off the chest, I don't think is a good strategy.
It's really a strategy for the returning team trying to hit the guy at the net.
It is a unique thing. People are trying to find a way to serve differently in this game. But I agree with you in the sense that it keeps the ball lower, but it's so slow that it allows the guy to come in and move it. It's not bad for the server, but it is tougher for the guy at the net.
A couple of sloppy misses there.
Oh, just off the net and wide.
I think that's 40-15.
Do you have a game score too, Mark?
It's love 2, third set.
So Bacher, Frazier are up in this set.
Yep, that's the other problem with the serve, Brad, is I just don't know you can get that underhand serving consistently in the big moments.
Well, you know, it's certainly an experimental thing for them, but they're doing it more than any other team that I've seen. They've seen sort of the jump roll serve to the deuce court out of various players. Colmar certainly uses it. I wouldn't say Colmar's is fully underhand, would you? Or do you think it is?
Sidearm delivery.
It's more of a sidearm delivery. But
another miss there.
A couple of loose balls. Deuce. Fun points, but interspersed with some loose errors. Oh, wow. Oh, perfect pace there, early and down the line. All right, so break point here. This will be big going to a 3-love lead. Of course, you have to think Frazier and Bacher are the hometown favorites here, both of them from the area. But he comes around, he rolls it. No fear out of Colmar for sure. You know, he'll come either side of the ball, over it, under it, around it, any particular ball. I'm not so sure he has a rhyme or rhythm to every overhead he's hitting either, other than to create some sort of movement. Wow.
Great action.
Yep. This is a break point here. It's a great point.
A lot of support for the hometown boys and Bacher and Frazier.
Absolutely. Rob Bacher is kind of a sports legend out of Xavier. Is he a Hall of Famer in tennis and soccer? Story I've heard. Tyler Frazier, a local pro here, and certainly one of the most up-and-coming players on the tour. It's not even up-and-coming anymore. He's right there. He's
arrived.
Yeah.
And he worked for Rob Bacher for a few years. Great array of overheads from Colmar. Really has them on their toes.
Well, he gets you moving for sure. Wow, that's the good one to use, that hard one.
He made the volley.
No! That's a heck of a point. That was a break point.
I didn't even see that volley.
That was awesome. Yeah, Colmar's giving the ball. He's like, take it back, because it's deuce now. That was a break point, and what a point it was. Deuce. Now Bacher's got a great forehand, very quick release early. We talked about that a little bit earlier in some of our earlier coverage. It's very slippery, his forehand too. See, as it goes on, this stuff wears on Rob Bacher. He's definitely by far the oldest player on the court. The hard overheads at him, making him chase a little bit. That's a good play. Oh, what a hold. Great play to get their teeth into this set. So it's 2-1 now for Bacher and Frazier.
That volley by Colmar with Morgan jumping in front of him, which saved the last game, may prove to be decisive as we get deeper into the match.
Oh, it was a great shot. It was unbelievable. You know, it's not easy to stay focused like that when your partner darts in front of you. It was an incredible job there.
The match has been played at a very fast pace, as you can see, even changing sides. Very little delay between sets, just play, play, play.
Now, that's been what I've seen from Colmar and Morgan. Colmar in particular, he plays fast, you know, and he likes the action. He makes the action continue. There he's got a lower ball. He knows he's got to hit up on it, put a spinner in there. Not sure that's the best ball to drive anyway.
I think you are sure it's not. Couple of wild misses to start the game.
I'd like to see you take the drive when you're gaining advantage from it. That's just taking the drive.
And these guys volleyed, that was going way out. These guys volleyed too well to do that.
Way out.
But that's part of the danger of playing on top of the net. It's much harder to let balls go. I know you were always a big fan of playing off the net.
Well, I was a big fan of not having to always run back into the net. That's really more of what it was, Mark. I don't. I actually think if you can be on the net and you look for the right ball to be offensive and to get on top, that's the it's a good one. But you will get caught like that once in a while. Hard ball at your body.
From 30 all to 30 love to 30-40.
Yep. Good read there, Morgan slipping that. This is what you'll see from time to time, a little seam, but then you see Backer, that wasn't so much, he's just getting a little bit tired.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't a miss because of a lack of focus. He just didn't move his feet. He couldn't quite get him going. So that's big. 2 games all. Yeah, there you're going to see that underhand or sidearm delivery.
So they're switching balls every 7 games. We played 21. This will be the 4th ball they've used. Here's Comer with his serve.
That's definitely an underhand serve, not even sidearm. You're right. No, I was saying it's definitely an underhand serve. See, now's going to be the interesting part. We'll see out of Backer there. The last 2 misses, I think, were all footwork related.
And there Comer throws in that terrific conventional serve in the ad court. But Tyler Frazier's been unable to drive. Bacher hemorrhaging errors right now.
I think it's the tiredness.
It's amazing how that happens when you get older.
I was tired at 8 o'clock this morning.
So 30 love.
Oh, and that what? Oh, couldn't make the play, and then good 40 love here. That's 7 points in a row. Colmar Morgan.
Fault for Comer. He finished the first set with 3 consecutive faults at a big moment in time.
All right. 3 games in a row now. Colmar Morgan taking a 3-2 lead in the 3rd.
3 fast games.
Yep. And you can see the top of your screen. All right. We got other teams warming up out here.
I think we're going to stay with this match till its conclusion, Brad, and then come back over to the Uriah Lipover match.
Sounds great. Wow, what a shot from Frazier. Heck of a ball.
That ball barely cleared the net.
Perfectly done. Colmar's got some wheels, so it's a pretty good one. That's a beautiful ball at the body. Solid roller, hitting the seam, moving away from Morgan. Perfectly played shot.
30-15.
Oh.
Right shot, just fails to execute.
All right, 40-15. Oh, such a beautiful one-handed backhand there. So compact.
Great feel, great spot. 40-30. shovel
Great.
shot.
Nicely done there by Frazier. All right.
3-all.
That was big, stopping the 3-game bleed there. That's well done from Morgan.
Couple great volleys.
Well, Frazier opted for the dip and blitz, but he didn't dip it well enough and he got caught in transition.
Wild forehand from Bacher takes us to 30 love.
Oh, little let cord dribbler there. Tough shot.
30-15.
Backer. Keep him moving. Oh, the running one-hander. Great ball.
Great hit and blitz.
That's good. I think, you know, that's the trick. You got to stay on the volley, keep it low, but the guy coming in, it's hard not to take your eye and look at him. Oh, and there's that missed vault.
That's what I was talking about. It's just hard to maintain that serve in the big moments.
All right, so a little turnaround there. Started out 2-love for Bacher Frazier, then 3 games in a row for Coleman Morgan. And now got a 4-3 lead, so a little back and forth. Rob Bacher serving. Great blitz from Frazier.
Coleman's demeanor reminds me a little bit of Steve DeRose.
Yes, a little bit, sure. Sort of very stoic, I guess, out there. I'm not really sure how to describe it. But so economical in his motions, the way he moves very efficiently, not a lot of extra steps, for sure.
Just no tension at all in his body. Certainly contrasted with Morgan, who's very tense.
Good move. He read it, but he didn't prepare for the shot, strangely enough. He's moving up the line, but his hands aren't ready to hit it.
Okay, first point, 15-love. Looked like tired legs to me there, Brad.
Tired legs, Mark. Exactly right.
15 all. There's the type of shot we're talking about. It's kind of a little flick out of nowhere.
Yeah, just holds the paddle in front of him. He lays the wrist back to the last second. Creates some pace with a quick motion. Oh.
That was not his best decision.
Yeah, we've seen some, but like we said, a little good, a little bad. A lot good, you know, a lot good there from Colmar.
I think we've got the score reversed on our scoreboard. I think that's 5-3. I'm sorry, 4-3 for Bacher and
Frazier, absolutely.
And 40-30.
Yep. Oh my goodness, they had this great start to the game, Mark, and then they finished with 4 errors. I mean, 4 basic errors. Strange. All right, 5-3 Bacher Frazier. know, crowd favorites, Bacher and Frazier crowd favorites. You could hear the groans in the audience when Bacher missed that forehand. Wow, what a serve. That's 40 love for Colmar and Morgan. Love that smart lob volley. Oh! You know, he knew he wasn't going to be able to get back for it, but he took a flyer at the swing there.
And it certainly was a flyer.
It's close.
Okay, so right. Kahler Frazier will serve for the match. 5-4 in the third. But really an entertaining match, hasn't it, Brad?
It's a great match. It's an interesting match, too, because you see so much good from Colmar and Morgan. Almost, you know, more out of Colmar, and then you just see a few inexplicable errors or too many choices out there, but it's great.
Again, you see how fast they're playing?
Yep, they're moving.
What do you think, Brad? Hold or break?
I think they're going to hold it here, but I think also Colmar and Morgan will be very judicious in this game. I do not think they're going to lose. They may make errors, but I think they'll be the right choices. I think they're going to battle this game. Oh!
Get from Morgan. Wow.
Yeah, it's great volley positioning.
Tremendous first point.
Oh. What a tricky little shot there from Bacher.
What a great pickup from Coleman.
Got a little greedy. Love 15.
point of the match, Brad, where every point is a war.
Yep. No, I think that's what it's going to be like out here now.
Love that little flip forehand from Colmer there.
This is good stuff, though. High quality. Oh.
15 all.
Now, do you mind that drive there?
I thought that was the right shot. I just didn't think he executed it.
Yeah, I think you got to make sure you're hitting up on that ball. It's not such a high ball, though. That's, to me, a probing spin drive. You got to spin it up a little bit, but I don't mind it either. Nice get. Great soft hands.
That's a terrific overhead from Bacher there.
Yep, he's got a good roller. Nice.
Oh, great volley from Morgan.
Oh, terrific point.
Again, right decision, poor execution. Had him off the net. Bread and butter, just fails to convert.
Oh, that's a tough one while you're coming in and then hitting the slash before you're set. That was a very
15-40.
aggressive play. Double break, great game played so far by Colmar Morgan at a crucial moment. Oh, look at that. Bacher, too tired to make his way in there, I think. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Volley.
What a point. How about that?
5 all in the third. It's a great play, Brad.
No, it's super entertaining, Mark. Really, really good, tight game played there by Colmar and Morgan. Not even bothering with the underhand serve, staying back.
I think that's a really smart play. You just can't afford to lose points on faults. As you and I talked about in the last match, there's no real advantage to being at the net with these teams. Unless you're going to lob wide.
No, agreed. And Colmar and Morgan have plenty of backcourt offense. They can hit it from most places on the court.
Frazier with a couple of uncharacteristic backhand misses.
He's missed a couple here. Oh, wow, Morgan's not even coming in, and Bacher still goes down the line. It surprises them.
That's a ball they've got to put back in play.
I think he was stunned, and I think it hit the seam, too, when it came to the back, but I was surprised he didn't get it.
Great lob from Bacher. Another one.
Wow.
Oh, look at that little one-hand flick from Colmer.
From underneath the net, Bacher's in position. Just move him back again. Keep tiring him out.
Yep, that was a ball that should have been lobbed, no question. So what are they going to do here? Conventional setup.
This is going to go with the underhand roll and stay back. He's coming in.
He misses the volley.
Missed it.
And that's that volley to me, Brad, that's so deceptive. It looks easy, but you're moving forward. It's always a difficult one to make.
Well, I think he went for more there, Mark, because Frazier blitzed.
Yep.
Yeah, and so he decided he had to hit a hard volley. I think he could have dumped it into the court, but he was worried that if he did that, it would pop up and then Frazier would cut it off, so he added. That's why an occasional blitz behind a good return is a great strategy to use.
Okay, so 6-5, Brad, hold or break.
You know, let's see. I think we're going to tiebreaker. What's your thought?
I have no thought.
Oh.
It's going to be a hold or a break, that's my thought.
You're not going to be wrong.
Switching balls. Been a lot of breaks, as is not uncommon in a paddle match.
Nope. But here you definitely see the backcourt team definitely seeming to have a good handle on the break.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a good ball. Now they're clearly working Morgan here.
Oh, he's a much more predictable player. You know what you're getting from him. Whereas with Colmer, I mean, it reminds me a little bit of a strategy that John Lubau talked about a few years back when they played Bostrom and Bredberg. Whenever they were ahead in the game, they played Bostrom, and when they were behind in the game, they played Bredberg.
Interesting, because Bredberg's not going to give you anything, but he's not going to hurt you that bad. Right. And when you're ahead, you can afford the make and miss of Bostrom more.
That's exactly right.
It's a great, good analysis there, Mark. Oh, big point. That was a good first point. Bacher putting in a couple of really good serves.
Interesting, they're both back, and Bacher chose to lob the ball there.
You know, he doesn't see where they are, and that's where I'd like to see more teams in transition call out for their partner to drive or to lob. Because Frazier knows where they are, Bacher does not.
Colmer, great overhead, catches the nick there. Back to 15 all.
Great try from Colmar. Couldn't keep his feet underneath him.
That says a lot about Frazier's belief. At 6'5", 15 all in the third set, he's hitting that shot.
Absolutely. No, he's not afraid, for sure.
But there are a lot of guys that hit that shot early in the match. There are not a lot of guys that hit it late in the match.
Are you an early in the match guy or late in the match guy?
Oh, what a shot from Bacher. I'm a never in the match guy, Brad. I know my limitations, and they're very limited.
That's okay. I already knew the answer. All
okay,
right,
double
that's
match
a heck
point.
of a shot. What two incredible slash overheads. Brings us to double match point.
Bacher does such a good job with it, sliding to his right, and
oh,
there's the match.
Oh, how about that? That was a terrific, terrific match and some great action there from Bacher and Frazier.
6-4, 1-6, 7-5.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
From spinning to swinging to throwing, you never know what's next for you. That's why at North Shore Orthopedic Institute, we're always thinking ahead of the curve. From treating the pros to weekend warriors. From minimally invasive procedures to regenerating knee cartilage, helping you wake up pain-free. At North Shore, we're not just here for you now, we're helping you be ready for what's next.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We're bringing you more coverage of the men's quarterfinals between the number 8 seed of Ram and Watt versus the number 2 seed of Araya and Lepever. And Mark, why don't you introduce our players on the court right now?
Well, they're moving around pretty good right now, Brad, but closest to the camera, to the screen in the low right-hand corner is Max Lepever in the blue shirt, and his partner Juan Araya in the orange. Now let's get the score from the umpire.
We didn't quite catch that, so we'll keep you updated on that score.
Okay, we're going to have Timo Araya trying to find it. So they're switching sides now. Timo Araya's got the score for us. So 6-1 first set to my dad. Is Casey Watt your father? Oh, that's right, Juan Araya. Okay, so 6-1 first set to Araya Lepever, and then Casey Watt to continue is on the ad side of the blue cover, and his partner Philip Rams is in the white.
Now, neither one of us has seen Ram play. This is the first time for me, so this will be a treat to see. Yeah, that's
unbelievable shot from Araya.
Yeah, you cannot leave that ball short there.
Yeah, now, interestingly enough, Lepever and Watt are a team that'll finish the year out together.
Yep.
And last year they played the match of the year at Nationals against Araya and Morneau.
Had them on the ropes.
Had 2 match points in the second set before losing in 3. 7-5 in the third.
Clearly Ram has some tennis talent out there. A lot of skills.
Araya and Lepever won here, I think, 3 years ago. So they've got some good memories.
That's a good point here. See both Araya and Lepever lob and look for balls in certain spots on the court. They're one of the best at that. Lepever is going to be looking to move either to the middle or to cut off balls. That's an incredible shot there from Araya. Unbelievable.
The brilliance of Araya. It's that one-handed backhand off the wires as well as anybody in the country.
He was feeling it there, a little hip pocket screen turnaround drive. Tough one to execute, but he does make them.
Casey Watt's got one of the best backhands in the country, but I know you see some inexperience from Rams. That was a ball that he should have read off the neck.
Absolutely. Just by Uriah's position alone, you got to play the ball off the back screen there. He's not wide enough to get an angle. That'll work. Nice looking forehand there from Ram.
40-30. And here they're playing their own one-up, one-back formation. Uriah looking for the drop shot.
Okay, you see Uriah commanding that point from up there. And as soon as they get a short one, going to go for the finish. Oh, great. Definitely some inexperience on Ram playing these spins off the screens, for sure.
Well, this is an awfully high level of paddle to be thrown into for the first time. It's like the snow has recommenced. Something's falling from the sky. So 6-1, 1 love.
Ah, that's the boldness of Uriah. Trying to take the half volley dink. One of the best in transition.
He's just uncomfortable to play against.
Well, when he's on his rhythm, he can hit a shot from almost anywhere, and he holds the ball so long. It is very, very uncomfortable.
Looking for the heaters, which I think are on.
Oh, ball would have gone wide, I think, but it hit the net and stayed in. Oh, such a good hold there from
there.
Right to there. Get a replay of Casey Watt making that dig off the snowboard. Show the viewers how these guys set their paddle underneath the net when they're getting these low screen, underneath the, down low when they're getting these low screens.
A big game for Rams and Watt trying to figure out a way to win. 30-15. Called wide, confirmed, we think, by chair umpire.
He's going to have to learn how to slow down that serve into the deuce court, put a little more spin on it, a little less action. He's coming off the screen so hot, he's never going to be able to come in behind that.
Wins that point in transition, takes him to game point.
Nick.
Lupavere reads that, Nick, so effortlessly.
Yeah, it was perfectly played.
We were talking a little bit last night. For the guys, only the most vicious of Knicks seem to beat them.
Yeah, you should run at least 80% at this level. You know, and the only ones that should be are the ones that shoot straight out or shoot straight up the line, hard and fast.
Okay, there's a hold, 1-all.
Nicely done. You can see at the top of the screen from the other view, Hughes and Powers getting out with their quarterfinal match against Crick and Lothgren.
There opens with a fault. Sitting with a little bit of an abridged motion these days. There's the full motion. What, with the matrix jump?
Yeah, but you can't engage in that. Taking a volley from lower than the net, moving forward. If you do, lob it high and go away.
If your name's not Jared Paul or Sean Hughes, Mark Powers, you do not want to engage Araya in these transition points. Again, Araya on top of the net.
Yeah, hitting the drive there.
Drive that ball.
You can see Ram's got he's got some talent for sure. You know, just gonna have to get the experience. You got a snowflake in the eye, I think.
34.
There's serve, bit of a bugaboo for him.
Yeah.
More inexperience.
Carving him up.
Back to Deuce. Mr. throws in his third fault of the game.
You see the court getting wetter and wetter now. It may turn skid ball soon. It's not yet. It's coming down hard enough where I think it could become kind of a hydroplaning ball soon.
Good look, just a little bit late with the decision making.
Very late with it, exactly right, and moved at the wrong time, basically. And there we go, the serve in the box at least that time.
It's a very effective strategy.
It's a start.
See, that's the ball he's got to
catches
lob
the chair.
when Araya hits it through, because then you're engaging in that boom, boom, boom play in transition, which is not what you want. So advantage Le Pavert. In the middle of the court's real safe here. Casey Watt does not like to hit that forehand.
It is not reliable for him. He'll hit it once in a while, but it's very 50-50.
How would you compare it with Michael Montalbano's?
I mean, I'm a little lost for words.
I can tell.
I have no comparison. You know, Montalbano actually, he'll pull the trigger on it once in a while. I think Michael Montalbano actually is one of the best backends in the game, for sure. It's up there.
So Le Pavert can just pound that middle of the court with impunity. Anytime they hit a deep lob, there's no danger there at all. As we talked about one of the earlier matches we did, Brad, where's the offense coming from in the backcourt?
Yep.
from Rams and Watt.
Right, no, I agree with you. There's no place to go with it. They almost have to stand next to each other in the middle, you know. And the danger with that is if they don't lob well enough, they're going to have to lob well enough and move into that middle a little bit, almost stand next to each other to look for the ball they want to hit. Because you're right, the middle of the court's a very safe zone. And then as soon as you make a bad lob, they're just going to start attacking.
It's hard to tell what's going on with Araya. He keeps his emotions so close to the vest.
Very, very tough to tell. Absolutely. One of the most impassive players I've ever seen.
I would not describe LePavere as a mutter, especially with that big grip change. Having said that, he played a spectacular match in the semis and charities when they beat Palmer and Broderick in 2 tie breaks. Very cagey player. He's got a great feel for the game. Moves like a cat.
Oh, he's so quick up there.
Great hands, one of the best volleyers in the country. Again, engaging in those types of transition points is a mistake.
Well, they didn't engage. They got caught out of position. Araya hits that sharp backhand down the line once in a while. He gets surprised. It's a sharp shot. It moves quickly. And people get caught off because he block lobs it so many times, and he goes hard knifing one down the line. He caught out of position.
I think that was a point that Rams could have just taken off. Ram could have taken off and just retreated quickly.
Should have. Yeah, but if that's what you mean by engaging, then yes, you're right.
So again, Casey Watt's got plenty of opportunity to stay back. And this is the conundrum they have, Brad, which is where's the offense coming from the backcourt? And you start blitzing like that, you get into this boom-boom style with Araya, which he's exceptionally good at.
Right. No, there's no question about it.
5:40.
And that's one thing that LePavere is so good at. He'll move that dink and blitz beautifully.
30-40.
Ryan misses the lob long. There's a dangerous looking overhead from Watt.
Such control with that backhand off the screen. Incredible what Araya does with that.
Feel.
Solid point here, though. This is good. I like these hard down overheads. I think LePavere should hit a down the line lob and look for the move forward to get a spike. Have Araya cover behind him. Either that or move up the wire like that.
Great pick up from LePavere with Araya in front of him. Did you like that shot, Brad, or not?
You know, it's not a great ball because it's under the net, but I see him do it enough times and make it. And then when he misses it, of course it's a bad shot. When he makes it, it's an incredible shot. It's one of those things. But overall, no, not in a point like that after 70 balls.
Back to deuce.
That's just tough.
And out.
You know, Rye would want him to hit this. He likes his partners to go for the return on the big moments. It's a pretty good serve, though.
Head in here. Head out.
No, it's at it.
Oh, some experience from Watt and from Rams in terms of positioning at the net.
Yep.
Play from the Pavere, just bailing out.
Just so good in transition. Oh, that's just amazing. Oh my gosh, just
remarkable.
So good. But that's the thing, he overhits into the screen, and then they get the drive, and that's when all the transition starts. The other team just has to know not to always come forward. Or if you do, you got to be on the net and stuffing him. You cannot give him any room. Hands are too good.
Variation on the one up, one back. We've seen so much of this year, last year and a half. And here the Pavere is not fully in the backcourt looking to drive the ball, he's looking to take the ball in the air.
Yep.
Rye is really playing aggressively on top of the net, looking at the drop shot at every opportunity. You can see on the side, our number one seed defending national champions, John Hughes and Mark Powers, are out there against Randy Lofgren and Nathan Crick in our final quarterfinal. Our final quarterfinal?
That is our final quarterfinal. That was correctly said, as confusing as it is.
Didn't sound right.
All right, well, the other quarterfinal spots are taken. I mean, the other semifinal spots are taken. It's just these two matches here.
And the winner of this match will play Bacher and Frazier.
Yep.
And the winner over there will play
Compton and Kahler.
We'll have that for you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Look at Araya.
Yep. No.
Standing in the middle of the court, brazen court positioning.
But look where his hands are, too. He keeps them and his paddle in the exact position where he knows the ball is likely to travel. It's part of the reason he's so good at these points. And so good in the hand-to-hand battles. So tough. You got to lob that ball. You think you should do something else with it, but you should lob it. That's a nice rip there from Rams.
40-30. Big forehand there. Takes us to 40-30.
That's a
whoa.
Fault. You can see Araya starting to look at his paddle a little bit. It's getting wetter out there. That means it's a little harder to control everything. The ball doesn't come off quite as well. The spin doesn't react. The ball's going to slide on the paddle a little. Got to flatten things out usually. The problem with that one is Araya screened him.
Never sees the ball. Break opportunity.
Oh, what a serve there.
Touches the nick, back to deuce.
We're going to send out Timo Araya to get a score here from our final quarterfinal of Hughes and Powers against Crick and Lofgren. It's a big forehand he's got. So he sets that paddle low, just gets it underneath the ball and lifts it down, lifts it up. Mark, this is a clinic of how you make pickups from a low position. It really is.
Add up.
Misses that one, takes us to break point. A conventional formation for Ryan LePavere here. Great pickup from Rams.
Yep. He takes a big risk on a break point there.
Perfect position and misses the volley. Game Rams what? I like seeing Philip Rams play. Obviously has some skills.
He's got a big forehand.
Yeah.
You know, obvious inexperience in dealing with the screens or
moves well.
Even the set. No. He's going to be he's a real talent for sure.
The obvious question you'll have to ask, which we'll get an answer over the next few years, is can he make 30 or 40 good decisions in a row?
There you go.
I remember one year Chris Presley started playing. Remember Chris?
And then he stopped playing.
Yeah, he looked at the game and he was top 150 200 in the ATP Tour. So that serve is useless. And looked out one day and said, I realize how hard I'm going to have to work to get good at this game, and put his paddle away and went home.
Yeah, tough one.
Left 15.
I've always felt it's somewhat insulting to paddle players. Every time anybody sees a good tennis player, they say, oh, he'd be such a terrific paddle player.
Yeah, well, it's not an automatic, Mark.
Yeah, just because you have physical skills, that's not what separates you.
The skills translate, but you have to learn to play the game, and certain skills are even more valued out here, and mental skills as well.
Drew Broderick being a great example. One of the best players in the country, if not the best, with 3 of the last 4 nationals.
Yep.
And not as physically skilled as some of the other top guys, but just so mentally tough. Such a great understanding of the game. Good overheads from Rams.
No, he's got some makings, you know. I mean, this is a tough task today. Coming out here against Araya and LePavere. I like that strategy of going hard into Araya's corner, and he'll keep working it. I think I said Araya's corner. I meant to say LePavere's corner, but
misses that one. 40-15, chance to get to 3-all.
Yeah.
Smart staying back there from Rams. What do you think of this new formation from Araya LePavere?
I think it's great. You know, I think it's always good to have Araya close to the net and trying to dictate the points close to the net, for sure. And it baits people to try and drive around Araya, and he cuts off the volley, has a drop volley or an attacking volley. He's as good as anybody's. So I think it's a good formation.
4-1, Hughes and Powers in the next court in our final quarterfinal. There's the big Casey Watt backhand. Well, that was close.
Oh, Leipevert pulling the trigger, but that's the shot that if Watt and Rams can get Leipevert to hit more of those two-handers, that'll work for him a little bit. It's not their best option for offense back there. All right, it's a little mojo going on here for Rams and Watt. And I think the weather's having a little of something to do for it. You can see it creeping into where he's looking at his paddle all the time, you know, and we all know how great a front runner he is, but sometimes when things go wrong, he doesn't always react the best way. So we'll see how it shapes up here.
That was very gently said, Brad.
That's a ripping forehand. What a volley. Leipevert. Now you're seeing that heavy, heavy steam rising up from the court. It's getting tougher to see those slashes, tougher to see anything out there.
Ryan looking at his hand, kind of shaking it a little bit. Took it off the paddle twice in a row there.
Think it's a grip thing, slippery grip thing?
It almost looked like he was in pain.
Huh. Oh, Rams was almost walking away. That's definitely an experience you never know. And in fact, he totally got there. Leipevert had it, just couldn't flip it up over. I think it was long.
Called out. Is that confirmed by the chair umpire, Brad?
15-40. Yep. Oh, that's going to be a tough. Nice dig. That's it. There you go.
Games in a row.
That's pretty good, but you also see this is what happens. The wheels start coming off. Moments ago, we were, talking about how we're dictating the points. The weather turns a little. A couple of errors here and there. They miss a few of those transition shots. I think this weather is definitely equalizing the match and possibly irritating Araya and Leipevert. Okay, well, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Viking. And Viking Athletics is the premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duty platform ball is the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It is the official ball of the APTA, of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the APTA Grand Prix Tour.
Okay, Casey Watt to serve with a new ball and some momentum.
Oh, for sure, Mark. I mean, there's 3 good games from Watt and Rams. He got hit, Araya.
Great shot there by Rams, that backhand he hit. Okay,
What's the call there?
I'm sorry. What's the call there? Because I called it out. Harder thing to say. No, I get it. But he saw it out. I called it out. He could have been like I told him, and he confirmed my call. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what the rule is. I just don't know.
So they're arguing here about what happened there. Araya called the ball out, And I think once he does that, if it's ruled that it was in, there should be a loss of point.
Agreed.
So they're looking at this, but so we're getting a little umpire clarification. I think it's a loss of point for Orion Lepaver. If he makes the call and it's incorrect, that's just the way it is. Even though Lepaver could have returned the ball, it doesn't matter. Once you make the wrong call, you lose the point. But they're arguing, Uriah, that he could have returned it, and it looks like, I don't know what it looks like yet. Okay, so I think that's the right play. It's 30 love. Yeah, you can see the body language now. You've seen it many times before, Mark.
(40-15). Uriah's really lost his composure.
Yep. We always talk about one of the great front runners in probably the history.
So maybe the score was different, Brad, because that's not game.
Yeah. And there's a couple of faults there.
I don't know what the ruling was.
We missed something there. Maybe the call was out and confirmed out. We didn't look at it that way, and we didn't hear the umpire say different.
So it looks like it's Ed Uriah Lepaver at 4-3.
And a couple of faults there from Watt, and he struggled with a few on his paddle.
Wow.
Okay, that was quite a turn of events that we were unaware of, but there's a lucky break there for Orion Lepaver, donated by Watt. All right, so break back, 4 games all. He chased it in a little bit.
15 love.
What you used to say, Brad? Dogs chase balls, paddle players go where the ball's going to end up?
That's absolutely right. Oh.
30 love.
Trying to get an explanation later from Shannon Vincent as to what transpired there.
You know, I have to imagine, Mark, that it was confirmed out call. That's the only way I can see it.
And what was Uriah arguing over?
I am not sure.
Great blitz from Rams there.
Smart shot from Uriah. Such great recognition of his opponent's position. He sees him backing up and off balance, and he changes to a hard overhead long and low. Incredible shot.
He's got such a myriad of skills, and he's so emotionally unstable on the court. He doesn't get credit often enough.
40-15.
What a brilliant player he actually is in terms of his on-court strategies and understanding of the game.
I'm not sure I agree with you. I think he does. I think the only knock on him ever is the unstable part. You know, the stuff he does is quite magical out there. And I certainly will give him the credit.
Huge return there from Rams. Takes him to 40-30. And here comes the Watt back then.
Oh!
Dude. That's a volley you expect Lepaver to make on a regular basis.
You won't see too many misses like that.
Back to Deuce.
There's another perfect recognition. And quite frankly, not the greatest move from Watt there. You know, Uriah's got a controlling overhead, and he's rushing forward to take it on a spike.
Rams got to be careful with that one.
Ah.
Same thing, driving the ball, you have Araya on top of the net is a mistake.
Yep. Especially if you can't hit it and have your body facing forward. He doesn't know where Araya is. He's not putting a lot of starch on the drive.
Okay, so Rams will serve to stay in the match.
Yep.
I should report that Kerry Flynn made her return to paddle.
That's a great news.
Former national finalist, played the Long Island Mix this weekend with Matt Garavaglia. They lost in the finals.
Nice.
First tournament in almost 2 years since she tore up her knee.
That is great to hear.
Araya breaking out the two-hander.
Love 15.
Not too often, but he gets the winner there. Love 15.
Very impressive, the Rams serve to the ad court.
It's excellent. But it's the same serve to the deuce court. He's going to have to learn to slow it down or add spin to it.
And there, Araya and Lipovere switching in the backcourt.
Good overheads at the crease there from Rams.
Still a surprising miss from Araya.
Absolutely.
Back to 15 all.
That is just a meatball. I don't know why Watt would just stay there. You know, it's you're asking
Got to get
for
out
it.
of there.
Just missed it. Feels like the ball's starting to skid a little, Mark. Whoa!
But catch Watt's head or not?
I don't think so, but it
match point
leads us to match point regardless.
It's a pretty brave serve after the one he just hit.
I think he's definitely been in enough competition matches to not be afraid.
There's Araya switching again.
Good long, deep overheads. He's letting the ball drop nicely, pushing it low and through.
That ball looked like it was going way out.
I think it was. Good read there from Watt. Oh, he goes for the dink and blitz, and he pushes it just wide on match point there. Nicely played point. Rams showing very good overheads in that point.
Great patience from him. Watt again.
Gotta lob that ball, though. You know, you're setting them up.
Match point number 2. Lipovere has been generating zero offense.
Yep, that happens to him from time to time. He kind of goes in the tank. He won't miss, and I haven't seen him come over his forehand more than, I don't think I've seen him come over his forehand, to be honest. Only hit that sort of continental push drive.
Yeah, I think he hit one big forehand that was out by about 3 feet.
That's a tough one. Dangerous here, yep. Araya going to work. Sense in blood. And there it is. Game, set, match. Araya Lipovere. So, Mark, any final thoughts?
They're going to have to play better tomorrow to win.
Well, certainly they're going to have to get rid of the highs and the lows. We always talk about that. And I think, you know, people are going to seek out the Lipovere offense, so he's going to need it. Now, I'm going to give him a break today on the conditions, making a change here in the second set. So it definitely changed the tenor of the match a little, for sure. And I'd like to find out what really did happen with that overrule. But we're looking forward to a great semifinal tomorrow. So why don't you tell us who we got on the lineup for tomorrow?
Why don't we take a fast break right now, and then we're going to come back with some bonus coverage.
Oh, we're going to get some.
Of
Great.
Hughes and Powers. So we'll be right back in a moment after these messages right here on the APK Network, presented by eNet Live.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We're bringing you some bonus coverage here of the #1 seeds of Hughes and Powers against our, seeded team of Crick and Lofgren here. So we don't have a score yet, but we're going to get that for you. The last we had heard, Hughes and Powers were up 4-1. It's John Hughes serving now, the lefty. His partner, Mark Powers, up at the net. And on the far side there is Crick, the lefty, with the Wilson paddle, and then on the ad court on the far side is Randy Lofgren. So we'll see if we can get a score, but you also got a little report on what happened in our last match there,
Yeah,
Mark.
you were right in the money, Brad. So Araya called it out. LePavere said he thought it was good. The umpire confirmed the out call, and that's the way it was played.
Yeah, so that makes complete sense as to how it was, but we certainly were confused for a moment.
So it's 4-1 Hughes Powers, second set. They won the first set.
Right.
So our bonus coverage may be slightly shorter than we had anticipated.
Well, we're just happy to see a little Hughes and Powers. They've been working themselves into shape. Last year they started out and then they won the last 6 tournaments. This year Hughes was basically hurt for most of the summer and got late into playing, and they seem to be working themselves back now. I heard they had a great tournament their last one, but we'll see how they are.
So I think that's 30 love. So just to recoup for our audience, 6-1, 4-1 for Hughes Powers. Crick serving, 30 love. John Hughes is pretty much unique amongst the top guys in that he drives with that continental grip, which makes his lobbing so effective because you just never know quite what he's doing. And I think he's the best lobber in the country.
Well, he holds it, he sets it up down low, and he gets it underneath. He has improved his sort of off-pace rolling drive, but the real danger shot is where he's hitting it from high to low. Of course, Powers can hit most drives, any kind. You see right now, though, for sure, they're doing a little lefty-on-lefty action, certainly looking to make Hughes beat them over there in the deuce court.
Mark Powers, best player in the country right now, Brad?
It's hard to say. He certainly, I think at one point last year, he certainly is in the conversation for it, without a doubt. But he's up there. It's hard to say that for sure. He's right in the top 2 or 3.
I mean, what can he do?
He can do it all. Every now and then he loses his way mentally a little bit, but He's tough when it's down. He's got one of the quick release forehands. He can take the ball early. He's got great volleys. He's got cut finishing open shots, so there really isn't anything he can't do.
His coach, Jim Kaufman, described him as a stone-cold killer.
He is. But he's still a great sportsman, terrific guy.
He was a little bit late coming over.
A little late, and I don't think he was ready for it for sure. All right, so that'll bring it to 4-2 for Hughes and Powers. That's Mark Powers serving.
Wild swing from Crick.
All right, 2 quick missed returns there. Gotta wonder if the match also that Crick and Lofgren played before, a long, tough 3-setter, is affecting their play now. You know, or you also got to wonder if they have the belief that they can win here against Hughes and Powers. I think in a lot of ways it all starts with that, you know, just the belief that you can beat a certain team. He's going to cut it. Yep.
Great shot from Powers. Really developed that in the last year and a half.
Yeah, he has that variety. He can cut it long, he can cut it short. Wow. It's a stuffed volley. Crick and Lofgren down 5-2 now.
You don't sense a lot of belief from their side of the court.
No, I don't think. I think it starts with that, and I'm not sure they have it. They also played a tough one the round before. But they are having a strategy here, at least the last game when we picked up, you know, our coverage here of this match. They were deciding to work Hughes for sure.
New ball after 14 games.
That's a nice stab. Holds that paddle, flips the wrist at the last second. Very good at that stuff. Very quick with his hands. He's a great volleyer. He'll also play a little handsy with the forehand and the backhand. He's a good traditional volleyer, but he's got great forehand volley as well. All. There's those soft hands and Powers. That ball's just spinning off Crick's paddle. That overhead there from Hughes was one of the reasons they won the national championship last year. His hard overhead into the second panel that bites to the side wire. Nice.
30 all. Match point. And there it is. Game, set, match. Hughes Powers, 6-1, 6-2. Brad, let's talk about the matchups tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So it's going to be Hughes and Powers against Compton and Kahler. And Compton and Kahler are playing well, playing tough. I'm not sure they got the firepower to beat Hughes and Powers, but they certainly have the ability to stay in there and make it close. And if Hughes and Powers are missing, then they can be right there.
And you have a similar analysis of the other semifinal?
So we got Orion, Le Pavere.
Against the hometown boys, Bacher and Frazier?
Yeah, it's a different matchup there. Frazier and Bacher have plenty of offense to hurt, Orion, Le Pavere. It's a different matchup entirely, and Frazier will hit as many spin overs as anybody. I gotta think, and if Bacher's on and his fitness is there and he can move, it's a good matchup. But I got to think Araya is going to be able to hit good long cutters in there. That deep long cutter into Bacher that makes a move is a very good and effective shot against that team. It doesn't let Bacher hit the forehand, and it keeps him moving. So I like Araya and Le Pavere there. Any thoughts on your end?
No, I think, as always, Brad, you said it perfectly, and I'm going to be really smart and agree with you.
Well, I appreciate that, Mark. So we're looking forward to our semifinal coverage tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and that's a wrap, delivered by Uline.